Welcome to the weekly Turtle WoW News with Rograg. I'm your news anchor orc, Rograg Fishslayer, here to bring you all the top server news for the week of February 11, 2025. Today, I'm wearing suspenders because I'm feeling particularly journalisty. Let's get to it. I'm the orc, and here's the news. Turtle WoW has been in a holding pattern since the release of 1.17.2. Class changes are still being ironed out. Much of the community is waiting for Upper Karazhan, as well as other content to be released. So today I want to touch on one of the bigger projects going on in the background of the Turtle project, Turtle 2.0. In my role as a community journalist, I have been given some level of access into the murky backrooms where the Turtle team makes decisions and develops the world we all know and love. As part of my role, I have been lobbying to try and surface some information to the public about Turtle 2.0. And I'm happy to announce that I soon will be able to talk about that progress as I myself catch up with its secret of development. Recently, I was granted some exclusive time to speak with the founder of Unreal Azeroth, which Turtle 2.0 will be built on, the founder of the project, Cenarius, no relation to the nature god, who graciously took time to speak with me. So I'd like to share with the community the little bits of knowledge that I am allowed to share for the time being. So we've all heard about Turtle 2.0, but where is the project at right now? And how close is it to being released? Well, in my discussions with Cenarius, I was made privy to the most recent weekly changelog that they have internally, while development continues. The Unreal Azeroth team is not willing to release any timelines on the release. However, internally there are progress updates being made to the Turtle team, who are backing the project. I have seen some of these internal videos, documentation, and presentations, but on condition of non-disclosure, I cannot share those. However, I can confirm that active development continues. I've been made privy to the many tools the developers use, as well as I'm just really starting to understand exactly how monumental of an undertaking all this is. And for right now, this might seem like a bit of a non-story, and I completely understand that. But what I'm trying to convey is that the Unreal Azeroth team is starting to open up, which is great, and I'll be able to provide some updates soon. For anyone new or those unaware, Turtle 2.0 is a project which is actually a branch of a larger project known as Unreal Azeroth. As the name would imply, Unreal Azeroth is a large work undertaken by Cenarius and a yet-to-be-disclosed amount of developers who are trying to take vanilla WoW and recreate it in the Unreal 5 engine. The benefits of such an undertaking are well understood, and that it will be just flat out better in many ways. Turtle currently uses a custom private branch of the vMangos client, which itself is a approximate estimation of the original WoW client. This approximation, however, is often the cause of many of the bugs that we all experience, and is a limiting factor for the Turtle team in their efforts to add more content. Furthermore, the Unreal Engine is going to allow for Android users to play, better optimization, more robust graphics, more atmospheric lighting, and lighting. Although I suppose the lightning might look better. Anyway, the list goes on. So expect to hear more about Unreal Azeroth and Turtle 2.0 as I'm given more permission to speak about things. It is a very exciting time to watch as this project gets on its feet and becomes a little bit more public. Blech. In other news, the Turtle community says goodbye to the Lunar Festival this week. Make sure to cash out your lunar tokens before the festival ends, otherwise you'll have a bag buddy for the rest of the year. as all NPCs are set to despawn with the scheduled weekly reset. Hope everyone enjoyed a great lunar festival as we all welcome in the Year of the Snake. And finally, the Turtle WoW official Twitter account released a screenshot of some upcoming content. Arachnophobes, you might not want to look at this, but the image dropped just yesterday. It shows what appears to be a large black spider with bright red markings on its abdomen. If you look really closely, though, you can see what looks to be a human rider, or perhaps a spider with a person in it, which anyone who knows about old school D&D and stuff, that's a creature known as a drider. Anyway, not sure quite sure what to make of this. However, I think a spider mount might be interesting. If you like this kind of stuff, check out the Turtle WoW official social media links where they like to tease little content pieces like this. But yeah, enjoy that. That is all I have for top news this week. Next up, we have Market Watch. Welcome to Market Watch for February 11, 2025. I'm your market analyst, Vrograg Fishlair. All our data is gathered by numbers that are provided by WowAuctions.net, the industry leader in auction house reports. I throw everything together and make various indexes of many market sectors, as well as the S&P 200, an index of the 200 biggest and most influential commodities in the economy. Let's get to the markets. Over on Telebim markets this week, the Alliance S&V lost 4% to 3 gold 85, while the Horde index dropped 5% to 4 gold 85. The Horde markets are continuing a trend of being about a gold ahead of the Alliance market, which lasted for about a month up to now. Whether this is caused by market scarcity or more activity is not quite certain, but it has been a trend that pops up regularly and is something to keep an eye on. Though both markets came down slightly, one market sector having a very different week for either faction was in tailoring. The Alliance Tailoring Index jumped 21% to 97 silver, while the Horde Index for the same items fell by 18%, a much lower valuation of 65 silver. While the Horde did have a small rally, oddly enough, with Mageweave, its market value remained under 5 silver, and its Mooncloth valuation tanked from 15 gold to over 12, so Horde Tailors overall saw a pretty big drop. The Alliance Mooncloth market is mostly responsible for this index jump, going from 12 gold to finish just short of 20, a massive gold jump that likely made some tailors some big gold. This rise in price is due in large part to the scarcity of the cooldown cloth on the Alliance side, where open auctions on it fell below 20 listings. It should be noted that supply is starting to dry up on the Horde side as well, so tailors of Telebim might be able to cash in if you're holding on to some extra Mooncloth. Over on Nordinar, the historically low valuation of the S&V 200 continues. Closing the week up less than 1% to 7 gold 42, there were these normal expected surge during the weekend, but by the end of the week, it wasn't much of a change. For now, the Nordinar market remains remarkably steady, albeit at a much lower price. It's been a while since we've actually looked at the fishing markets on Market Watch, and it has been on a downturn ever since mid-July of 2024, where the index was peaking around 21 gold. Since then, it has slowly and steadily come down in value, closing this week at 11 gold even. That's nearly 50% in half a year. Normally, the bellwether commodity for the fishing index is stone scale. Since it's so commonly used in expensive reagents and potions, fortunately, it is also one of the few things Market Watch has been tracking since as early as mid-2023. In early summer of that year, the slippery eel was selling for around 50 silver, believe it or not. But changes on how stone scale eel schools spawning worked made the price more than double in early October of 2023, which you can see. It continued to climb in value and reached a peak in June 2024 around 1.5 gold, but since then it has been steadily coming down. Research shows that a confluence of factors have caused this. The fishing being available for the eels in Hyjal made its availability a little bit better. And now, of course, since the economy update with certain elixirs, persisting through death, stone scale oil has also had some diminished demand. Today, it remains a valuable catch, even if the prices on it now haven't been seen since October 2023, but trends do indicate that it is probably going to drop a little bit more, but fishing still remains a pretty profitable venture. And right now is normally when I would wrap up Market Watch. However, we have a special presentation that we'll be touching on in the community bulletin. But for right now, I would like to talk a little bit about Shellcoin. The reason I'm talking about it is because of a generous donator that we will get to later. To those uninitiated, Shellcoin is a not so elaborate pyramid scheme set up by a charismatic Shellcoin founder, Carlos Matos, now based in Booty Bay, which should be noted was because he got kicked out of Orgrimmar and Stormwind for fraud charges. The concept of Shellcoin is simple. If you buy a Shellcoin for the current value, the value of Shellcoin goes up. If you sell a Shellcoin, its value goes down. This makes investment in Shellcoin highly speculative and very dangerous. Furthermore, inside sources, this is true, have claimed that in the past, Shellcoin has been involved in RMT transactions, which may or may not have been a precipitating event that led to the price of Shellcoin to no longer be listed on the Turtle WoW webpage. That being said, some people like to play the game of speculation with it, and going forward, I'll mention where the price is and how it's fared over time. Because historical data on Shellcoin has not been archived by MarketWatch or anyone else, I think the Turtle team might have data, but haven't been able to get it. I have very little to go off of, and this isn't a joke, this is the only recorded piece of information I have on the price of Shellcoin. This comes all the way back from May of 2023, which is the last time it was covered. Back then, when Northernar was the only server in the Turtle network, the value of Shellcoin was only 8 gold, 40 silver. Since then, it has had wild swings up and down. I'm sure any investor could tell you that. And as of the writing of this script, it is currently valued at 24 gold even on Northernar and 9 gold, 4 silver on Telebim. My personal advice is to not buy them. And if you do, you could potentially turn a profit, but you're more likely gambling and gonna lose. That's all we have for Market Watch. I hope you found some of the information here useful. Make sure to use wowauctions.net for all of your own market research. Remember to keep an eye on your coin, otherwise someone else will for you. Let's check out the community bulletin now. Now we're going to take a look at the community-made events and goings-on for the last week. I'd like to start this week's community bulletin with a big thank you to a random YouTuber commenter on one of my videos where I spoke about smaller roleplay guilds being disproportionately affected by the apparent price hike in attuning their guilds to a hearth. This is a play in 2 acts. Here's how it went. This person randomly said, I would gladly give you 5,000 gold to donate to RP guilds, and all I would ask that you cover the price of Shellcoin on Market Watch. And I said, I'm interested in making good on my end if you're good on making, I thought it was just a random person. And then this happened. Frograg logged on one day, and there'd just be 5,000 gold in my mailbox. So, on that note, and for full transparency, I took the gold and split it. Half went to the Nightsong Sentinels during their donation drive to get some smaller guilds their Tabard Hearth Charter, and the other half went to the Gurubashi Empire towards their drive for the same thing. I wanted the gold to be split evenly between the Alliance-centric roleplay and Horde-centric roleplay, respectively, just out of a gesture of neutrality. The gift also included 10 shell coins, each of which is currently valued at 24 gold. I'll be looking in the future about a way to donate these coins, perhaps to other drives as well. I also happened, in related news, to attend the donation drive in character with the Nightsong Sentinels. Here you can see Frograg resplendent in it's some kind of fancy Asian-inspired dress. I attended this wonderful event. It was in Darnassus. Even though the guards seemed to disregard the fact that I had an invitation, the event was a smashing success. It featured fireworks, dancing, and many creative vendors selling their wares to raise funds. This last week as well, the villainous Scarlet Legion honed their martial skills in a test of combat prowess. Large gold purses to the winners were handed out, but now many are concerned that this recent regrowth in the fanatical order might cause them to turn their gaze outwards. Rumor has it that they are planning a siege upon Scarlet Monastery to put in even more fanatical leadership. There are also whispers of the Argent Templars and the Defias Brotherhood joining their ranks too. Just south of all these Scarlet Legion troubles brewing, a group of rebellious trolls are stirring the pot in Stranglethorn Vale. This weekend, the organization calling themselves the Gurubashi Empire seeks to reclaim the ancient troll city of Zul'Gurub from local tribes. Little is known about the cause for this rebellion, but they are led by a mysterious leader calling themselves the Holy Prophet Vumkaz. The siege of Zul'Gurub is set to happen on the 16th at 2:30 p.m. server time. Will the new Empire execute the coup? Will the Scarlet Legion march uncontested? Get involved to see if you can help against these two antagonistic organizations before it's too late. If that's not your cup of tea though, there is also something interesting popping up on Valentine's Day. On Nordinar, Gurubashi Arena will be the site of a bloody battle with Azeroth's weakest champions. Those wishing to rack up kills or just enjoy some bloodshed are welcome to join a level 1 lunatic free-for-all bloodbath on the 14th at 6 p.m. server time. Good luck to those that chose violence over love this Valentine's Day. Of course, if that doesn't work for you, always check out the event listings for other RP and PvP events going on in your neck of the woods. As always, Turtle WoW is not just a game, it's a community. We should all play together and enjoy the game with one another, and I will endeavor to always shout out and promote player-made content and events. Thank you to those that have already done so and plan to do so in the future. That's all I had for the community bulletin. Let's jump over and wrap things up with the changelog roundup. Alright, so let's get to the changelog. We'll be covering the changelog from February 4th, which had 17 whole changes on it. Let's take a look at the ones that had the most impact or were the most funny. Battleground enthusiasts were unenthused to find out their insignia trinkets last week stopped giving them an extra little buff. As it turns out, the insignia of the Horde or the insignia of the Alliance trinkets, which are now changed to universally remove characters from CC. Previously, the insignias would have specific types of crowd control it would remove. In 1.17.2, they just flat out remove all crowd control. However, there was a unexpected side effect of this, and they kinda sorta just made you immune to spells and effects. So that had to change. I found that one to be quite humorous. Glad it's done though. A conclave of paladins met in the Cathedral of Light to remedy what was seemingly the power of the light getting a touch confused. None are quite sure why, but the class ability to turn undead had a classification as a nature spell, according to paladin sages. Even the most senior leaders of various paladin orders were not sure what the case for the confusion was, but undead with high nature resistance were seemingly ignoring the ability much more than presumed possible. Rumor has it that it was a prank set up by Horde Shaman, but there has been no confirmation about this rumor. For now, the spell should be properly classified. Priestly Orders of Night Elf had a recent petition taken up by the Hunter Association for ranged attack power. Night Elf priests were recently granted permission by Elune to wield the sacred weapon of their deity in combat, the bow. However, it was noticed by Night Elves using this ability, with items that increased range attack power, it was not actually increasing their attack power while using the bow. The Hunter Association, renowned for its greed on all gear, known to even deny priests gear if it had what they wanted on it, recently relented. They have now officially allowed Night Elf priests to gain attack power, ranged attack power, with their bows. A spokesman from the Hunter organization said, "I mean, it's only fair. Plus, they can't wear leather or mail armor, so it's a small concession to make. Congratulations to the Night Elf priests on this historic win." Nefarious warlocks of Azeroth recently had a secretive method for fighting in PvP taken away from them, after an Eye of Kilrog of all things evidently tattletaled on them. As it turns out, there was a time where a warlock that was killed in combat while also having the Eye of Kilrog and a demon out would indeed die, but their demon pet would fight on even after the warlock was little more than a skeleton in the ground. The Eye of Kilrog that made the report claimed to have seen it happen multiple times and was tired of being summoned only to die as part of a trap. Warlock's demonic overlords who found out about the sneaky trick punished the offending warlocks and retrained demons on how and when to despawn. And finally, Scarlet Spellbinders, known far and wide as the protectors of the highly sought-after Crusader enchant, recently came under fire from their Scarlet Crusade superiors when it was discovered they were hiding underneath the stone tower where they spawn in Western Plaguelands. It turns out the Spellbinders were fed up with being spawn camped for hours, even days at a time, by seekers of the Crusader enchantment. Leaders from the Scarlet Crusade, however, considered such actions as cowardly and unbefitting of a true believer of the cause of the Crusade. They hired some local masons to seal up the floor that the Spellbinders were hiding under, and now only the bravest of their order remain. That completes the changelog roundup for last week. This week's changelog may be out soon, so make sure to check it out so you can keep on top of all the latest adjustments coming to Turtle WoW. I've been Vrograg Fishlayer. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate everyone in this community. Make sure if you'd like to see more content like this to like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Until we meet again, Thanks again for watching, and remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.